Hi, my name is Julianne, and today I will be reviewing Horrorstor by Grady Hendrix. This is a horror novel that is set in a Ikea knockoff store, and it follows Amy and her coworkers as they try to survive a harrowing night at Oryx. Alright, so now on to the review. The first thing to discuss is the format of the book. I really enjoyed the overall design of the book. As you can see, it's set up to look like an IKEA catalog, so it shows all the different furnitures and like what Oryx has to offer. By setting up this format, it really kind of puts you into the story because Oryx is an IKEA, and so the fact that it's kind of set up to be like in this like kind of like cataloged way makes it interesting. It's still like a novel. It's not, the whole thing is not just a catalog. Each chapter starts with a picture of the furniture that they offer, so it really helps set the scene, helps set the tone of the book too, I think, because it makes you feel like you are there. You are in the store and you're reading about the story while also, being able to visualize the furniture and like the store around the people. I loved the writing style in Horrorstor. It was a good balance between horror and comedy, and it really, again, it helped set the tone, it helped set the feel of the story. It's just like the writing, it was great. Something that surprised me was the horror. Like, it's a horror book, or it's gonna be scary, but honestly I was not expecting to be that scared. I don't know, like I really wasn't expecting it to be spooky per se, like maybe like a little creepy, but I definitely was not expecting to be scared. And I was definitely scared. I was really creeped out. The horror was well done in that sense because I honestly wasn't expecting to be scared by this book. And it really did scare me at times. I was like, oh my god, I'm just on edge, and it's great. But I actually started reading it because one night I couldn't sleep, and so the perfect thing to help me fall asleep was a horror book, obviously. I decided to pick up the book and just read it, and I ended up reading half of it that night, and it was definitely helped set just the creepiness because I was reading in the dark with the light of my phone. So I would recommend actually reading the book at night if you can, because it really helps set the tone. I keep saying tone, but it really did help set the tone of the book. Okay, so on to plot. As I was mentioning it in the beginning, this is about an IKEA knockoff store, and yes, that is how it's explained in the book. IKEA does exist in this universe, but Oryx is an American knockoff store. So the main character is Amy. You read the book from her perspective. The part where the plot really gets going is when Basil, her boss, asks her and her coworker Ruth Ann to stay the night. There's someone vandalizing the store, and he wants to catch whoever's doing it. Like the next morning, some higher ups are going to come to the store. I can't remember exactly who it is. I think it's like the executives or something like that. They're going to come to the store like to inspect it or check up on the store. So he wanted to make sure like the place was spotless, no one was vandalizing anything, and they want to catch whoever's doing it so the store looks nice for the people the next day. At first, Amy is hesitant to work that night, but it comes with a good paycheck, so she decides to stay the night with Ruth Ann and Basil. Once the doors are closed, the customers are gone, things get really boring. But later on in the night, things start to get really creepy. So this just begs the question, do ghosts live in Oryx, or are these strange occurrences actually human? You're going to have to read to find out. I want to discuss two characters, the first being Amy. I really liked her character a lot. She felt really relatable to me in some ways. She felt like a realistic character, and I feel like she's someone that a lot of other people could relate to as well. Throughout the night at Oryx, she becomes braver, and I find that really admirable in her character. So another character that I liked was Basil. I felt like he also grew as a person. I was surprised by the end that I actually I really enjoyed his character. I really liked him just as much as I liked Amy. And the relationship between Amy and Basil was really nice. I liked how they kind of teamed up and their relationship grew as they grew as people too. And I did enjoy the other characters, the other players in the story, but Amy and Basil were my favorites. Overall, Horrorstor was a great story about a haunted Ikea. I enjoyed both the humor and the creepy elements that Hendrix used in the story. His writing drew me in, and it didn't let go. Like I said, I read half the book in one night, in one sitting. You know, it really like captured my attention. It was actually such a good horror story that I would recommend reading it around Halloween. I mean, anytime is perfect, but I mean, like, come on, this is a great spooky story for the Halloween season. And also the formatting on the book really helped set the scene, set the mood. I think it was a good decision to make it look like a catalog. It really helped set the tone of the entire book. Something that I haven't discussed yet was the antagonist of the story, which I won't go into too much because I feel like it's one of those things where you should just go in not knowing who the antagonist is. But I really enjoyed the antagonist. I thought he was a good villain, and I liked that whole arc of the villain. I really enjoyed the way the book ended as well. I thought it was a good way to wrap up everything. It is a little open-ended, but like open-ended in the way where it didn't feel like you were cheated out of anything. Like, it is open-ended, but not in like a bad way, and I think it's a perfect way to end the book. I wish there was more because I enjoyed the book so much. Like, I want like 5 books set in orcs. Like, it was amazing. I seriously would recommend Horrorstor. Like, honestly, go check it out. It's awesome. It's amazing. I loved it so much. I highly recommend it. It's a great spooky Halloween read or anytime read. Just go read Horrorstor by Grady Hendrix. Alright, so that concludes the non-spoiler section, and I'm going to jump into some spoilers. So if you don't want to get spoiled, I would suggest leaving now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And for the ones who have read the book and want to hear my spoiler thoughts on it, just stick around to the end. So I have a few spoiler stuff that I want to talk about. It's like kind of all over the place, so it's not like trying to be what is it? I don't even know. Like, there's no like rhyme or reason. I just wanted to jump to a few different spots in the story. So I'm gonna actually start at the end of the book. I'm really glad that Amy and Basil went back to find their friends whose names I literally can't remember. I'm surprised I remember Amy and Basil. I'm so glad that they decided at the end to go back for their friends. Something about Basil is that I don't think he was going back because of any orcs policy or anything like that. Like, when he saved Amy, it could have been that, but he wasn't working for orcs at the end of the novel or anything like that. So the fact that he would go back and save his friends, not because orcs says you have to save the customers or take care of the employees, it's literally they're his friends and he's going to go back and he's going to go save them. And I thought that was very admirable of Basil and Amy because, you know, she's the type of person where it's like she wants to go save herself. And not necessarily that it's a bad thing that she wants to live, you know, but the fact that she would risk her life to go back and save her friends when you know, like, that's not where she was at the beginning of the novel. It really just shows her growth and Basil's growth as well. Another scene that I wanted to discuss was Amy in the chair. I don't remember the name of the chair, but when she was stuck in there and she couldn't move at all, like that, oh, that was that was scary. Like, I could feel it, you know, like I felt stiff. I could feel the pain, you know, like I really felt what she was going through, and I thought that was really cool that Grady Hendrix could just, you know, transmit that pain and that of being in that chair and not being able to move. Like, he was able to somehow do that through the writing, and I don't even know how he did it, but it was just, I love that. His writing really helped make me feel what the characters were feeling, so I thought that was really awesome. But yeah, that scene where she's in the chair, it really just was, you know, like, it was scary. Not in the sense that it was, you know, not scary in the sense that something's coming at you, but just the fact that you're just trapped and you can't leave and you're stuck there. Like, that's a scary feeling. So he really portrayed that feeling really great. Also, a scene that did disturb me and I feel really sad about it was Ruth Ann. Like, out of all the characters, Ruth Ann probably is dead. Like, she 100% has to have been dead. And that whole scene with the nails and her eye, like, like, I felt the pain, you know, and, like, again, like, I could feel that pain, and, oh god, and her being dragged away was, like, oh god, it was terrifying. Like, some parts were, like, spooky and stuff, but then those parts were, like, actually terrifying. And, like, oh my god, I can feel my fingers hurting just thinking about, because, like, she had, like, scratched down to the bone, and it was like, oh my god. I don't know how Hendrix comes up with these, like, scary, creepy stuff, but he's good at that. But it was definitely creepy. I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing much else to talk about that I can think of off the top of my head. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video, and happy reading. Bye! And it begs the question, do ghosts actually live in the... I'm gonna get the line. I'm gonna get the line, I swear. I'm gonna get it. Oh shit. I just bumped into the table really hard. I'm probably gonna have a bruise. I don't even remember what my outro is. Okay. I was upside down. Okay, well, whatever.